Jersey City, what's up? We're telling your followers that you've started a live video. Tell everyone. Tell the whole world, Instagram. It's going on right now. Oh, I just got a notification. JC Tech Live is happening. What's up, Christine? Thank you for joining. Joe, what's happening, man? Sadie, yeah, you guys are tuning in. This is great. This is episode 1 of our live series. What's up, Sadie? Super exciting. I'm in my little quarantine nook right now, just kind of kicking it and, just getting excited for this first virtual opportunity that we're just kind of trying to change the game. Oh, what's up, Cassidy? I haven't seen you in a while. Let's let Joe in here. Let's go live. So, we got connecting with Joe.
What is up?
What's happening, Joe? Cheers.
Wine time.
I got beer this time. Even though we're representing whiskey all day, misunderstood whiskey.
Yes, you gotta support local.
Exactly, support local. That's one of our messages. That's what it's all about. Thanks for joining, Joe. Just to give everyone a little background on what we're doing here. Obviously, the world is taking a bit of a turn with this COVID-19 thing. Things are certainly different, and we're just trying to figure out how to adapt and adjust and make it work for us. Yeah, the stash. This is my quarantine stash, Jason. So we're trying to figure out how to make it work for us. So me and Joe. You got to show me how to do that at some point. But yeah, me and Joe are going live here because we just want to drop in and, give a chance for everyone to join us and be part of the community still and just kind of hopefully give you some tips. What are you pressing?
It's down at the bottom. It's down at the bottom of the screen.
Nice. Yeah. See how great technology is, everybody?
Yes, it's already making us happier.
Yeah, look how happy we are. And I got my little nook right now going on. But yeah, so basically, as everyone knows, the Tech Meetup physical events are currently on hold. So we're just trying to sort out some different ways to still keep active and be involved in the community even while I can't have physical events. So that's why I figured I'd reach out to Joe because Joe has been heavily involved in the Tech Meetup and our growth and helped bring this all together. So I just wanted to chat with Joe about life and try to give everyone some tips, tips and tricks about how to stay sane and stay active and productive in these crazy times.
Yeah.
For everyone tuning in, there's these little question mark card things at the bottom of the screen. Throughout this live stream, just drop your questions, and towards the end, we will just select a few and answer them whatever you want. That's what this is all about. This is about engaging. So, yeah, I'm looking at my background. I feel like this is like a Zoom, like fake background. Like this is the the best spot in the world for live videos. Look at this.
Yes, you did good. That's a perfect background.
I set this up right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta set it up. So, Joe, why don't you start by giving everyone a little background about yourself and what you do and stuff, so to get a little context.
Yes. Hola, my name is Joseph Cameron. I am the founder of JLC Social Marketing. My marketing company, usually when people hear marketing companies, they think, oh, you post on Facebook and Instagram. That's not actually what we do. We focus on paid social advertising and actually proving a return on investment from it. So we can prove that if you put $1 in, you get more than $1 back, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Ben and I have been working together kind of like ever since Ben took over the JC Tech Meetup. Like it seems like a million years ago now. But yeah, so that's it. I've been in Jersey City now for like a year and a half, a little bit. So
and he's been involved at the start with the Tech Meetup. You came in part of the community the second you moved here. Even before you moved here, you had already got involved with the community. So you came in already, knowing people and being part of the network and something bigger than yourself. So it was cool that once you moved here, it was just you were already in it.
Yes. It's important to be involved in a community, especially like down here. I feel like in Jersey City, this area, it's a lot easier. There's a lot happening, a lot of communities, and the Jersey City Tech Meetup community was just always awesome. The previous organizer, Dan, I had met him through one of my previous ventures, and he was just so inviting. The community was inviting, and yeah, like obviously everybody who's here now is part of the community too. So you know how awesome it
Right.
is. So I'm just reinstating all of this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was awesome. Like that's why I took it over because first I was part of the community and saw how great it was, and what we're. Can y'all still hear us? Give us a little thumbs up in the emojis if you can hear us still. I just saw a little buffering action.
Yeah, no,
Thumbs
I
up,
could still hear
everybody.
you fine. I did see the buffering. Thumbs
All right,
up,
cool.
thumbs up.
All right, cool. We got a thumbs up. So yeah,
All right.
basically the meetup, it's great. It brings us all together, but this meetup is revolved around physical togetherness, and we're experiencing a changing of times. So, I mean, just to give everyone a little idea of how what some of the challenges in the tech world that are facing. Joe, what are some of the challenges you're seeing with businesses in general, small business owners, entrepreneurs, that this whole isolation quarantine thing is bringing? What are some of the main things that are people are having to come up front and see and kind of figure out how to pivot and adjust and adapt?
Yeah, so I'm kind of glad that we're talking about this. Obviously, it's Jersey City Tech Meetup, so we are a tech community. We are probably the best people to address this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look, the first thing that businesses do when their revenue drops is they cut their marketing budget. That is literally before they do anything else, they cut their marketing budget. So that can create some issues that they don't necessarily expect. I'm a firm believer in nobody can do your social marketing better than you. So I do believe a business is totally capable of doing the best possible job of their social marketing. But the one thing that I would kind of say is, yes, obviously, like you have some service-based businesses that are not fit for online, but I think that there are many businesses that think, well, so now I don't have to do anything, which in an actuality, it's the exact
Right.
opposite. If your doors are closed, you need to do more than ever to make sure your community is still involved and still engaged. We live in a society where the average attention span of an average American is about 10 seconds, which is 2 seconds less than a
True.
goldfish. So you need to make sure that once all of this is done in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whenever the hell it's done, hopefully it's sooner rather than later, that
Right.
people don't forget, because we are going to experience a tsunami of consumers coming back into the market all at once, and they are going to need everybody's businesses. They're going to need everybody's services, everybody's products. So you ensure that your business is the top of mind when that does happen.
Right.
And that really is it. And businesses are totally capable of doing it. You could post on Facebook, you could post on Instagram, you can go live, you can do what we're doing. It's not rocket science. It's just being able to, this quarantine is causing a lot of mental stuff to happen with people, where they are getting depressed, where they're
Right.
getting anxious and things like that. And you really have to, just work past it a little bit and at least just be able to keep active, keep your people engaged, even if that's just sending out an email once a week to your clients, like, hey, guess what? This is an update. This is, hey, we're doing gift cards, or hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. This is a way that you can stay involved. Or maybe you do
Just
have
keep the
products or something
communication
like
up.
that. Yeah, that really is what it's about right now. So, if as long as you're doing that, you'll be okay. But there are also some other issues that this is kind of bringing to light. And I think one is that a lot of businesses kind of weren't prepared for a situation like this, where they weren't diversified, so they aren't able to take advantage of online sales. And I think
Right.
that after all of this, I think that we're going to see more businesses that are diversified, that are not only getting physical sales, but they are going to try to future-proof themselves. God
Yeah,
forbid
we're gonna
something
see a
like this were to
huge
happen
change
again.
in business in general. I
Yeah.
think everything's gonna change from this.
Yeah, 100%. But I think for the better. I don't think that this is going to be a long lasting thing. Look, technology is really good. They're already testing some things that they think are working. We're all going to be fine from this. This isn't like the financial crisis of the late 2000s where, everything blew up because people were doing things malicious. This wasn't a malicious thing. It's just a virus. It'll pass,
Exactly. And I think
you
that there's
know.
there's going to be some positives that come from this. Like, I mean, there's obviously a lot of challenges that come along with it, with people not being able to get into physical space, storefronts shutting down, things like that. But the one thing that it is giving us is a bunch of time. And a lot of times in business, people always say to me, everything's just moving so fast. I'm always just chasing my tail, just trying to figure out fires and figure shit out as I go. What we have now is an opportunity where we have some time to take a breath and take a step back and actually understand what we're trying to accomplish and really reevaluate your goals and what you're actually going for. Because sometimes you're just working so hard, hustling, get caught up in the grind. You forget you don't even know what your dream is, what is in your heart that you're trying to accomplish. So I think this gives you a chance to step back and reevaluate what you're working on and kind of make sure that you're aligned with what's in your heart and what your goals are for your future, and kind of reset and reevaluate. As well as a thing that I've noticed is that I'm having more time now to create content. I've been doing more videos. I'm like, all right, you can right now, if you're bored and you're chilling at home right now and you don't know what to do, I'm telling you, just set up your camera and just make a shitload of content. I don't care what you talk about. Just take video after video. It doesn't matter if it's bad because you don't need to use it. But you could just make so much content that could literally last you for the rest of the year, and you just pick and choose what's good. But I just think there's a new opportunity here for people to have a little more time to actually focus on what you're doing rather than just putting out fires and chasing your tail,
Yeah, 100%. I think that I think that if you look at this as, like this huge negative thing, then it's going to be this huge negative thing. But you can also look at it, you can find silver linings to everything. And the silver lining to this that I found is that, yes, exactly what you just said. Like, oh my God, I've had so much more time to go live, to truly engage with my community. For those that don't know, I do own a gaming brand. So, we have a lot of traffic. I actually receive over 2,300 chat messages a day on that account. So it is literally a fire hose. And you know what? I've been actually able to devote much more time to them. Since all of this went down, all this pandemic stuff, I actually got 2 new sponsors for that brand. So it's not like there aren't opportunities out there. There are. And like you said, maybe this gives businesses a chance to catch up and to train and to get better at some of the things that they didn't have time to do, before, because they were running around so much. And marketing is one of those things. Social marketing is not optional nowadays. You have to be involved. You have to put yourself out there. You have to get comfortable in front of a camera. You know what I mean? Like it kind of is what it is at this point. We're put in a position now where, yes, absolutely.
It's a sense of scale because, people who are strictly devoted to physical storefronts and physical spaces, it's great and it brings the community together. But if you're only physical, then you're not going to reach a bigger audience. So now this is kind of forcing people to get virtual, get online, and really just figure out how they can reach greater audiences and take their business to the next level. So while it's shitty at first, like, oh, fuck, what do I do? Like, everything's falling apart. No, now you think of it as a chance to how do we reach more people through a virtual platform?
Yeah, and I really do think that it's the people that do really well after this and the businesses that do really, really, truly well after this are going to be the ones that are helping people now when they are not getting paid any money to do it. If you can help people during this time, you help them. Even if that's donating, you're doing whatever you're doing, even if you're just donating time or getting online or getting on the phone or doing a video chat with somebody, maybe your service is relieving pain and they can't come into your business to get that right now. Guess what? You should be figuring out a way to go online and to help people relieve their pain right now, even if they can't come in. You should, if you offer some other kind of service that they can't come in and experience, then you should be looking for other ways to help. And that's how you're going to build more trust. You're going to become closer to your clients. And when all this is said and done, you know, first of all, they might pre-purchase services before this is
True.
done, which can
True.
actually help a lot. Like you can sell gift cards and stuff like that. People do want to help these businesses. But if the business isn't saying, hey, this is how you can help me, then people aren't going to know and they're not going to do it. So, you know, it's just about
Exactly.
putting yourself out there, trying to help where you can. If you don't know how you can help, you know, just ask people, get online, do a social post, say, hey, how can we help you? What can we do during this time to, you know, make this, you know, a little bit more reasonable for you to deal with, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. This could be a modern renaissance. I see that comment. That's true. This could be
Yeah.
a turning point. And before I want to jump into your new social media
Yeah.
course that you're releasing, but before that, I want to just mention a point. I think Sadie's on here. She mentioned something to me that everyone right now has nothing but time. And I mean, not everyone, but you know, a lot of people are on their phones, like looking
Yeah.
for leadership, looking for answers. So we got to take advantage of the fact that people are on their phone constantly, and we can take that energy that they're putting on the phone, mindlessly scrolling through cat memes and people doing dumb shit, and then direct that to your business or whatever it is that you're doing and give them some direction and guidance so they could actually have purpose and learn and grow from this experience. So on that note, I want to say, tell us a little bit about your new social media course, and also what's up, Gregory Shrin,
Yeah.
my dude.
Yeah, what's up, Greg? Yeah, so we JLC Social Marketing is actually coming out with 2 new courses. The main one is our Smart Marketing course. So this is our Smart Social Marketing course for businesses. Basically, right now, most companies either have extremely cut their advertising budget or have fired their outside marketing companies. It just is what it is at this point. But that doesn't mean that they can completely stop doing their social marketing. If they aren't hiring somebody to do it, then they need to do it themselves. It really isn't optional. And the course takes you step by step through every single thing that you need to know, between creating a social content calendar, figuring out what to post so it doesn't become stale, doing your social ads so you actually reach clients right now and generate sales. Yes, I do still have clients that are generating thousands of dollars in sales right now, so it is possible.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, it also takes you through basically everything else that you need to know. If you go to jlcsocialmarketing.com, you can actually sign up and receive the first part of the course for free. It's all about doing boosted posts on Facebook. So you will learn everything that you need to know to boost posts and to actually like get a return from it and generate some revenue right now in these crazy times.
That's what people need. That's what
So,
they need. So
yes,
you're
yes.
capitalizing on helping people in these trying times. This is what people more need, the
Yeah.
mindset people need to have.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's people will people remember when you help them, you know, especially when they really, really, really need help and you lend them a helping hand, and it's not just a hand saying, here, give me some money. You know,
Right.
people remember that. And, you know, when time comes to, you know, return the favor, maybe they can't put revenue in your pocket, but maybe they could refer you to a friend, or, you know, or they could just get online and say, hey, guess what? Yeah, this business is really cool. You know what I mean? It's not all about, you know, trying to squeeze money out of people or necessarily trying to generate revenue right now. It's building trust, building your community, building your email list. You know, I know that's something that we specifically talked about for how many months, Ben? How many times did I say we need to get everybody off of Meetup and we need to get them on your email list? How many times did I say that to you?
A million. I don't know.
You probably thought I was crazy. I like kept saying like, no, we need to get these emails. We need to get these emails because look, something like this happens now. Nobody's looking at meetup.com. So what would you have done really if you kind of didn't pull everybody off of that platform? And the course teaches you how to do that. But, you know, realistically, all you need to do is post a lot on social media and just tell people what you want them to do and give them a reason to do it. You know, provide value. If you provide value, then you're fine, you know?
Yeah. So everyone check out that course. And on the note of what Joe's talking about, this is kind of what I'm figuring out as well, because the Jersey City Tech Meetup is a company based solely on bringing people together in physical space. Now that's been stripped away. So in this time, I'm not trying to get money from people or do anything like that. I'm just trying to have these virtual events. This is the first series, so thank you everyone for joining. This is the first one. I'm going to do a regular live on Instagram, but also I'm going to actually have like the events we have physical space, but virtually once a month also. And this is just to keep people engaged and give something to do and just like give some relief because people don't really know what's going on. People are panicking. I just want people to have something they still can hold on to, and that's community. So don't, like Joe was saying, don't always think about how you can strip dollars from people in these times, like those motherfuckers who bought all the PRL and are trying to sell them at like 10 times. That's not cool, and that
No.
gets you far in life. You want to think about how you can actually really just help people in these times and be there for people. Also, just want to drop in real quick. Thank you everyone for joining. Just anyone who's joining right now, if you want to drop a question at the end, we're going to do Q&A. There's a little card with a question mark at the bottom of here, so just drop your questions throughout, and we'll catch some at the end. So thank you all for joining. A little segue. So what are some of the tech tools and platforms you're using to help get through these times? I'll kick off with an example and then pass the torch to you. But I'm looking more into webinar tools like video conferencing like Zoom and obviously Instagram Live and WebEx, things like that. I'm just trying to, not only with business, but in my life, I'm now connecting more with people through video calls, people that I might not have hung out with in years. Now I'm kind of reconnecting through this virtual platform. So I'm using video conferencing, and I think that's been a really great tool for me. And I want to hear from you, Joe. What were some things you've been using?
Yeah. So, for the last few years, we really have been moving toward video. And I think that this happening is really like, oh, okay, this is like the dam breaking. And I think after this, video is going to be the new way that we communicate. I think that's going to be a lasting thing. People have gotten very comfortable very quick, with doing video calls, with doing Zoom, with doing things like that. So yes, I would say if you are not currently using, any kind of video tool, just hop on, even if it's a private, even if you're using Facebook Messenger to do a video chat with a couple of your friends, just actually seeing them and being able to engage in that way right now is it's good for your mental health.
Yeah.
So, hop on. Yeah, like with Facebook, I actually just, my boyfriend, he was talking yesterday and he wanted, the other day, and he wanted to chit chat with a few of his friends. And he's like, oh, well, how can we do the video? I'm like, oh, just use Facebook Messenger. You can get on there with 6 people and you can actually video chat with 6 people at the same time. It's free, it's easy.
Did you hear about House Party, this new app?
Oh, you know what? I did hear about that. Yeah. I think that we are seeing more and more things like that sprout up, or maybe they were already around, but they're just becoming more popular now.
Yeah, exactly. That could be the case. Where it was always there, like the new app, like it was here since 2012.
Yeah.
It's new to me.
It's probably been around for a long time. Yeah. But definitely Zoom. If you are looking to do webinars, you can use Zoom, or else you can use GoToWebinar. That is also a really good tool. There's also Webinar Jam, which is a really good tool for webinars if you're looking to do anything like that. But if you're just looking to like do something like super simple, just go live on Instagram, go live on Facebook. Facebook, it's just really like your friends and family usually. So you kind of don't have too much to be afraid about on there. And at least that gives them a chance, your friends and family and people like that, people close to you, a chance to, just see your face. Right now, it's like I was telling Ben before we got on, I was like, Ben, I haven't seen you in like a long time now. This is probably the longest that we haven't seen each other since we've known each other, and it's really weird. So,
we're like, let's hang out. Let's hang out with a bunch of people watching us that we don't know. Let's do that right now.
Yeah. So I'm seeing some stuff rolling. Thank you, Hudson County Events, for hopping on here. Anybody who is not following Hudson County Events, follow them. It's and definitely if they could post more of like online events that are happening, they're probably doing more physical events before. But I think, JC Tech Meetup, Hudson County Events, everybody needs to be really just pushing out there more online events like this and anything else just to keep people involved, keep them busy.
Oh yeah.
Sadie asked, do you have course workshop recommendations? So yeah, actually, if you search for on Facebook and Instagram, not actually like in the platforms, but if you search Google, Facebook and Instagram have a ton of workshops that will teach you things that you didn't even know that these platforms did. And they're free. You know, they do have professionals that their entire job is to put together these workshops and these trainings that people know how to use their platforms better. So if you do want to learn how to use Facebook or Instagram better, obviously I would suggest going to jlcsocialmarketing.com and signing up for our course. But then
Good. It's good.
there are also a lot of free things. Like I said, just search for if you go to just search for like Facebook business courses or something like that. It should the Facebook website or Instagram website should pop up the first thing in Google searches. So definitely just go on there and there's a lot of stuff about that.
And sweet, thank you for that, Joe. And some other cool things like tech related, I guess, as far as just like keeping morale high. I've been seeing a lot of artists, like musical artists and bands, who have just been doing the whole, hey, we're having an acoustic set this Thursday at 7, and like they'll just play an hour-long set. It's beautiful, and they just put their Venmo to like, hey, if you have a few bucks and could spare it, that's cool. If not, I still just want to bring happiness. I watched like one a day last week of just my different bands I love just doing acoustic sets. Like Taking Back Sunday did one on Sunday, and the band name finally made sense to me. I'm like, oh, they're taking Sunday back. This is it. It's cool. Like there's energy. There's still people with good like attitudes and like really just people coming together. I think it's in a weird way bringing people closer and a deep connection virtually, and I think that's really cool. And some other things that I think are happening are like affiliate programs, like people who have a lot of CBD companies like cannabis have reached out to me saying, yo, like people are out of work now. Like if you know anyone trying to help sell some CBD products, we can give them some work through there. So if anyone's looking to do that, you know, we have resources, but people are getting creative, thinking of different things. And it's really cool just to see how people adapt and really are able to pivot when things get crazy rather than just throw in the towel and say, this isn't what I signed up for, you know? And that's the kind of mentality you need to have as either an entrepreneur, business owner, or just someone who's just a hustler in general and just trying to make shit happen, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would just say, like, I know there are some people that, you know, everybody is trying to do like the side hustle thing right now. And I would just say, like, whatever you're going to do, you know, just try to pick something that you can stick with after all this is over. That way, at least when you're doing it, it will come off more genuine, and that will actually help you increase sales. You know, if you really sound like you're into it and it's something that you're going to do for the long run. If it sounds like it's something that you're just going to do temporary, that might turn some people off. So, you know, just try to find something that you're enthusiastic about. Like I'm enthusiastic about gaming. I have the esports brand, you know, I have the gaming brands, you know, and I've done that. That has been my side hustle now for a while. So I'm all about having alternative streams of income.
That's the way to do it. And yeah, like I mean, I plan on doing more of these virtual. Like, I'm not going to stop doing these virtual hangouts when the Corona decides to walk away. This is this is
the Corona is like
they don't control this shit. He walks in, they're bouncing, but this is a new thing that we can keep doing anytime. This is awesome. Like I like this hangout. I want to do virtual events. It's really great. So yeah, I guess another segue I want to jump into from there is
wait, one more thing before you go on from that. You kind of just mentioned it. I have a very short memory, so I don't want to forget, but you're saying like all this social stuff is here to stay, and I 100% agree with that. And I think that I think it's really interesting how before all this happened, everybody looked at, or not everybody, but a lot of people viewed social media as something that disconnected people. And boy, oh boy, did that boomerang around to now, wow, that's the only way we connect now.
That's all we have.
Hopefully, you know, that is something that stays around afterwards. And I really do think it is, because everybody's becoming more comfortable. But I just kind of wanted to throw that out there, you know, like this is something that, you know, people didn't have a really good view on before this. But I think that, you know, this will change people's minds and get them more comfortable. So I really like that.
This is what's keeping people sane right now. If we didn't have this kind of shit, we would be completely disconnected. And
Yeah.
Cassidy, who is tuned in, also said a very wise thing the other day. She said it's called social distancing, and that is bullshit. It should be called physical distancing because we should be getting socially more connected and together like what we're doing now. This is social togetherness. We shouldn't be socially
Yeah.
distancing, just physical, but not
Yes.
socially. It's different. So
That's
I
smart.
think
You know
that's
what? That's why I love Cassidy.
hell yeah. Props Cassidy for that. So yeah, it's true though. I mean, this is bringing us all together, and it's really great just to see everyone joining. Just for all those joining, thank you for joining. If you have any questions,
Yeah.
pop them in that little question mark card on the bottom. We're gonna touch on a few questions at the end. So yeah, I guess I want to jump into community now. You know, I mean, we've been talking a lot about staying connected and community. Like, how do you stay connected with the community in a time when we're not able to see each other? I know we talked about a lot of different social media platforms and things like that, but I guess one thing I want to touch on, then I'll pass the torch again, is just like I just had a video call with my family for an hour before this, and like it's something I don't normally do, but it's just
Yeah.
like it's just opened up my eyes. Like I could do this anytime. It takes a pandemic to make us think like, oh, we can catch up with the people we don't see that often. We can have weekly video calls that are recurring. I have this virtual happy hour that I set up Saturday, 5:30 Eastern. That shit's recurring. I don't have an end date for that. So if anyone wants to get on that virtual happy hour, just shoot me a message after this. But like, there's just it's all these different things that are like really bringing us together and connecting. I called up with my two buddies yesterday who I haven't seen in like 2 years, and they live in Hoboken, less than a mile away from me, and I haven't seen them in forever. And then we just had a video call yesterday with some wine and caught up for 2 hours. Oh, now I see a little buffering on Joe. Is he there still? Joe, no. If anyone can hear me, drop a comment right now. Hello, Instagram. Oh no. Can anyone still hear me? If you can, put a little comment in that box. Oh, okay, cool. I got a shot in the other room. Joe's back. Joe, no. You like the Joe no? All right, I'm glad someone caught that. I'm glad someone caught Joe no. Joe, request to get back in here. Why, Joe? Oh, we got a Joe request. Oh, I'm so happy that I thought of Joe no. That was an opportune moment.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think all the coronas were coming and getting me or something. I don't know. They knocked out my internet. I don't know. It wasn't a good situation.
Alex, what's up, bro?
What's up, Alex?
They're Joe, yes. Joe, yes, he's back.
Yes.
All right, what else?
Yeah.
How can we be part of the community and support our
Yeah.
local businesses and friends and just be part of something? What else do you think?
Yeah, so I think that you had the right idea when you started up a group page. A lot of people don't realize, but a few years back, Facebook really started focusing on Facebook groups because everybody started using Instagram for their regular, social media consumption. So they really started focusing on groups. The Facebook newsfeed has really become just like news stories for you to read and engage with in that way. And on Facebook, groups are really where the conversations happen now. So most of us are probably part of groups already. We see them pop up all the time. But I think that any business that businesses can use groups in a couple of ways. They can make a private group that is only for their current clients or customers. And I think that's a great way of staying connected and for their current clients to actually talk about some of the things that affect them in a closed environment where it's not going to be seen by anybody else, more private. And or you can create a public group for something, like JC Tech Meetup or something like that, where anybody who wants to join a community and be involved could actually be involved. But that is where the conversations are happening. It's happening in groups. I would say that, another way it's going to Just reach out to people, send them, make sure you're email marketing. Some people email out, let them know what's happening, let them know that there are some businesses out there that I even hate to say this, but I'm like, oh, are they like still in business right now?
Right,
Is
because
this
they haven't
happening? Like,
communicated.
yes, so they need to communicate, that yes, we are still happening, we're still rocking and rolling. Just put out any way that you can help. But definitely, Facebook groups is the way to go at this point. Create a group for your business, create a group for your niche, even if it's not directly about your business. Maybe you have a yoga company, and it's about yoga in Jersey City or something like
Or
that.
like
Just something
naked
where
yoga.
naked yoga, yes, that could definitely be. That might have to be a private group.
That would definitely be a private group.
But if you're into it, you're into it. That's fine. But I definitely think that's or just go on Facebook and search for current groups that already exist and just be part of the conversation. You know what I mean? That really is it. Just connect with other people, and when all of this is said and done, all these connections that you make can turn into actual clients, and they can convert and pay you money and things like that. And this is a great time to build your email list. So, just focus on. I actually had a call with Leanna from Be Brilliant Styling earlier.
Nice.
We were supposed to be on for like a half an hour, 45 minutes. It ended up being 2 hours. And we discussed her sales funnel, and we discussed, things that she could do now, content that she can create in order to, genuinely help people. One thing that we discussed was, and it's going to sound, it's kind of out there, but a lot of people are sitting inside right now, and a lot of people are eating a lot right now and not going to the gym and not necessarily thinking about those kind of things. And as a styling person, Leanna has to help people style the best for their bodies. And I just kind of told her, like, after this is all over, people's bodies might be slightly different than they were before they began.
You
So,
got to take this into account.
you might just want to create some content around that, like people's changing bodies and how, it might just be a temporary thing for them, and they don't want to spend a lot of money on clothing. So, what are some cheap clothes that they could buy and still look good and still look stylish? But no matter what your niche is, you just have to relate it to what's happening now. So if there is a way that, if you do, if you're a yoga instructor or something like that, and you do yoga classes, find a way to translate that, online, find a community for that online where you could answer people's questions, where you could provide value. That is what you should be looking for. Where can I provide value right now? Because all of that value it's deposits. Relationships are bank accounts. You constantly make deposits and you build up that trust. So right now is
Exactly.
really the time to just spend your time and to make as many deposits as you can to build up enough trust with people and to really become closer, become more than your business, become a person. People like doing business with people. So just find these different communities where you can provide value, show that you are an expert, and show that when the time comes, you are the business and the person that they should be giving money to, and that they should be, coming to for your services.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that whole point that like now is a really, really dope time to be thinking about just building relationships and connect with people on a deeper level, whether that's personal relationships or business relationships. Maybe it's it's all about thinking about your common sense and kind of where people are at. Maybe it's not the time right now to ask for money or to try to make a sale, but it's definitely always the time, especially now, to be building those relationships and keeping them in your network and keeping people engaged that you might want to really work with or collaborate with in the future. So, I mean, now is the time for that more than ever. And I think another great way to stay connected with the community is to support your local business and wherever you can. I mean, even if that's shouting them out on your Instagram or just, it's really simple. Like a lot of people are struggling right now. Something that's really simple that you can do is just share your buddy's company on your story or whatever it is in your email, whatever, wherever it is.
Yeah.
Spread the word. Right now I'll even do this. I'm drinking beer. I got a misunderstood whiskey,
Yes.
koozie or cozy. I never really will know what it is, and I don't think I ever will. And that's okay with me. But it's I bought some merch from them the other day because they're putting some proceeds towards helping people that are struggling right now. So
Yeah.
wherever you can, I highly encourage people just support your local business and just we could all be in this together and help each other through this. Things will go back to normal, but we're going to learn a lot of valuable lessons that we carry forward with us even when things are normal again. And I think things are going to be completely different in how people look at business and people's perspective on how to do things. Because I mean, for myself, certainly, I'm seeing how things can be done differently on a virtual level. So I think that things are changing, but it doesn't need to be negative. It's going to be a positive
Yeah.
thing, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, 100%. And thank you, Hudson County Events, for shouting out Rent the Runway. Speaking of shouting out businesses in New Jersey, Rent the Runway. Yes, if you are experiencing any weight fluctuations and you kind of want to look fly until you do whatever, then I guess Rent the Runway. They are a local New Jersey company, and companies like Misunderstood Whiskey, like these are extremely hardworking entrepreneurs. They have like their blood, sweat, and tears built these businesses. And if you can support them, then you should. And that doesn't necessarily mean taking money out of your pocket. Like you could share one of their Instagram posts or one of their Facebook posts, or you could tell a friend to follow them, or, it doesn't matter. Or like, if you really like their product, you could maybe reach out to them and say, hey, guess what? Let's do a live so that I can tell everybody how amazing your products are. It doesn't
Exactly.
necessarily have to be money out of your pocket. I do realize that, that is a concern for a lot of people at this point. It's probably a concern for everybody at this point, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a money thing. If it can be a money thing, definitely throw them a few bucks, like even, if 100 of their followers donated $1, $1 per person is really nothing, but 100 put together is actually like, okay, this is really cool. You kind of can start to make a difference with every little bit. But like I said, even if it's just sharing a post or something like that, I know even before all of this was happening, I used to just stress that to people all the time, like just share the post, share the
Yeah, it's
post.
easy.
It makes a huge difference. And people, a lot of people don't realize exactly how the Facebook and Instagram algorithms work. But if you share somebody's post and you like it and you comment on it, they have such a bigger chance of, number one, getting in front of you again, and number two, getting in front of other people. When you post something on Facebook or Instagram, they don't, like, if you have 100 followers and you post something on Facebook or Instagram, it doesn't show it to all 100 people at first. It shows it to maybe like 5 to 10% of those people. And depending on their reaction, they will decide this content is good and show it to more people, or this content is not good and show it to less people.
Right.
So by you just liking their stuff, it is a huge help, and it's such like a small thing. Just like their posts, share their posts, especially if it's something where they're telling people how you can help them. Definitely just like it, share it, comment, with something genuine, even if it's like, we can't wait to come back to your business, just
Yeah,
anything. It
just spread the
dramatically
word.
helps them. It
Hell
really
yeah.
does.
Awesome. Well, I think we should take some Q&A because I see a few
Yes.
questions down here. So anyone else who has a question, pop in and we'll take them. I know Sadie had a good one. Let's get that one. Have y'all taken up any extracurriculars with your extra time?
Why do we both immediately start laughing?
Does medical marijuana count as an extracurricular? I mean, I've been doing a soul searching. There's something.
um, I have taken up an extracurricular that is not that. I've started going live more. I don't have an issue with going live. I know a lot of people get very anxious about going live. I don't have that. But I just didn't have the time before. And one thing that I said, awesome stash. One thing that I said to myself when all this happened and I have more free time is that I'm just going to use it wisely, and I'm going to put myself out there and make sure that I go live and just try to provide as much value as possible. So I guess that was my extracurricular that I picked up.
So I'm similar to my extracurricular is was definitely connect with people on video calls more, and then also figuring out different things with my facial hair. I'm just like, you know what? I'm quarantined. The first thing I did, I grew a mustache, a soul patch, and then chopped, dude. And then I was like, all right, this is a fucked up look. This doesn't have this is undefined. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, it's time to really just explore what's out there. Over the course of a day, ditch the chops. Next day, ditch the soul patch. Mustache is staying though. So as far as extracurricular, just exploring looks, exploring old friendships, and revisiting homies. That's pretty much what it comes down to. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you, Sadie. Let's take another question. Oh shit. Well, this is a good one from Selena. How do you plan to prepare in the future if something like this happens again? Well, I think everyone is learning very valuable lessons about how it's important to be socially connected virtually. Obviously that's the current problem and the current challenge. So we're all thinking, okay, we've got to get virtual, we've got to get online, we've got to scale up more to people across the world. So I think people are shifting their mindset to be more virtual. I mean, now, like, if another thing happens, there might be a whole other set of challenges, because this is specific to what is right now. But I think the lessons we learned from this situation will translate over, because unless the world is ending, then our virtual presence and platforms can't be taken from us. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one thing that right now everyone can really focus on to try to future-proof themselves, is just making sure you're not dependent on physical space, physical gatherings, just really just understanding what tools are out there for you to continue business as usual when shit hits the fan.
Yeah. I think that this is an awesome question. And I think that one thing a lot of entrepreneurs don't think about until it's too late is diversification. I learned this lesson back at the recession at the end of the 2000s. I learned that if you are an entrepreneur and you are a business owner, you need to have multiple sources of income. You cannot rely on just one source. Because you get into a situation where you can be screwed, just put it that blunt, but it's the truth. I know that my marketing business, the actual where my company does paid ads, that got cut off at the knees, but I also do online training and I also have my esports brand. So, while one leg of the table might have become unsteady, I still have two sources of income. So I've been able to weather this, without stressing that much. And I think that entrepreneurs are doing themselves a disservice if they aren't diversified. Like, yes, in a situation like this, I think a lot of solely service-based businesses should think about how they can add in virtual products or products that they can sell online in an online store. And I think that that's going to be something big that we're going to see a lot of businesses do after this. I think that they are going to say, okay, God forbid any of this happens again, we need to have other streams of revenue that we could generate money from. God forbid we have to close our doors again. So I think that that's definitely the way to go. I think that is, if you want to future-proof your business, make sure you don't just have one stream of income, have multiple streams of income. They could be along the same lines. They can all have to do with the same thing, but at least have one virtual so that, if you do have to go and start selling products or anything online, that you can do that. And not for nothing, that tends to be a pretty profitable thing, that once you get rolling and once you get down pat, selling products online is not that hard, especially if you have a physical business where people are walking in. So I know Salvation Wellness, I'm going to give Salvation Wellness a shout out right now. Kia at Salvation Wellness in downtown Jersey City. They have an awesome line of products. Definitely they have done a great job of like, oh crap, we have to close our doors. Okay, now we're going to switch to selling our online products and doing things like that. And I know they've they started writing handwritten cards and stuff like that with their products just to show their appreciation to the people who are purchasing. But like I said, I think that that's going to be the biggest thing, is just entrepreneurs making sure that they have multiple streams of income and not just one.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Something quick I want to touch on. The JC Explorer asked, "What's the smartest social campaign post you've seen since Corona?" Just something that I saw today that I want to touch on that was creative was a band that I love, One Republic. I know that's like a radio band or whatever, but they actually are a great band. You know, their songs that aren't hits are my favorite songs. But point is, they've been going live on Instagram, doing these live feeds of them playing acoustic songs. They just released like a tour shirt. It's like it says like social distancing, like the tour, and at the back of the shirt where it usually says the dates and the cities, it like has like the next 30 days, and it's like off. April 1st, Instagram. April 2nd, off. April 3rd, Instagram. It's like a tour shirt for their Instagram live tour they're doing because they're just like, and they actually are making a shirt and selling merch about this social distancing tour. I'm like, that's a really cool creative thing they're doing. It's like it feels like you're actually part of it, and it's just straight up Instagram lives.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Um,
What's up?
one thing that I've seen a social campaign is like I said, I have a gaming brand on Twitch.tv. If anybody's not familiar, it is a gaming website. And actually, this Saturday they are having a extremely huge fundraiser for people affected by COVID. And this is something that they are doing site-wide. I have never seen them do a site-wide fundraiser before. They have over 3 million streamers monthly. So this is going to raise major money. And I really do like that, you know, these bigger companies are actually not just thinking about themselves. They're trying to think of ways to give back. And I think that any company that is thinking like that nowadays is a company that, you know, deserves some respect. And, you know I'm even going to try to jump on there with my brand and actually try to become a part of it and try to raise some money. We do already raise money for the Children's Miracle Network that helps out children, specifically in New Jersey. I think it's in Cherry Hill, the actual specific hospital is. So we do try to help out in other ways. But like I said, they're doing a site-wide thing. And I know a lot of other businesses are trying to figure out ways to help. So, you know, I really like that.
Sweet, yeah, same here. I think it's great how people are actually trying to be there for each other rather than just trying to strip dollars.
Yeah.
I know we're reaching towards the end of our hour, so want to take one more question and then wrap this guy up.
All right.
So let's see, we got a couple good questions. Kind of like this one, so I'm gonna jump into that. From Hudson County Events, if you commute, how are you otherwise spending your time instead of commuting? I have an answer, Joe. We'll both do our take. Do you want to kick it off, or?
You kick it off. You are more of a commuter than I am. So
True, yeah. Joe doesn't really commute, but yeah. I mean, that gives me extra time in the day. What I'm trying to do is still wake up at the exact same time that as if I were commuting, and looking at that as like extra time in my day. So I've been doing morning yoga with Adrian, which is a dope YouTube series. If you guys want some guided yoga with Adrian's great. But even before this, I would do workouts before going to work and commuting. But now I do a workout. I have time to chill, have breakfast, chat with my roommate, best friend Gallows, who's watching the stream with Cassidy right now. We get to eat some breakfast. I'm not
Gallows.
Yeah, Gallows in the house. I'm not rushed. Like I'm usually rushed on my regular workday before commuting, trying to get out the door. Now I'm just like still waking up at the same time, doing a morning routine. And just trying to like do some daily intentions, writing and journaling. So, you know, set some goals for the day, set targets, schedule out your day. I really highly recommend, rather than taking it as time, like, oh, I can sleep an extra 45 minutes or I can sleep an extra hour. Just wake up the same time and think of how you could leverage that to make your day better by setting up your day with a better morning routine. I highly recommend ice cold showers. I know some people think I'm crazy for that shit, but it does magic, and it really just shocks you into the day. So, yeah, I think you should really be thinking about how you can spend that time wisely rather than sleeping in and covering it. So, John, hear yours.
Yeah. So one thing that I have gotten in the habit of doing since all this came about is I've been a lot less busy in the mornings. So I don't usually have to commute. I can work from home, or else I can go to my office, which is pretty local. But one thing I've started doing is just really started reaching out to more people personally. So I try to, pick one or two people every day that maybe I haven't spoken to in a while and just shoot them a message, shoot them a text, shoot them a message on, Instagram or whatever the case may be. Just something to kind of connect a little bit more with people. That's where I do still try to wake up at the same time, and I do try to keep my routine. I don't want to get out of that. But, I've just found connecting with more people, and I found that to be very fulfilling. I like waking up in the morning and seeing emails and messages and stuff from people that I haven't spoken to in a while. It's kind of like a cool thing.
Absolutely. Well, that's amazing. Yeah, it's great. This is just, I guess, wrapping it off. This is just a different time for all of us, but it doesn't need to be a negative thing. There's a lot of ways we could twist this and perspectives we could take to turn this into a positive. So just want to say thank you so much, Joe, for joining. Just wrap up, let everyone know where to find you and where they can get more information.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at Joseph L. Cameron or at JLC Social Marketing. You can, if you want to sign up for the courses, right now we are offering the Boosted Post course for free. It's going to launch on April 1st. If you sign up now, you will get it for free, and you will actually get a 50% discount on the full course. So it's actually a really good thing. Go to jlcsocialmarketing.com if you want to sign up for that. The only other thing I want to say is, first of all, thank you for having me on. I am glad that I was able to join you for the kickoff on this. Thank you for everybody joining us in the chat, for taking your time and actually spending it with us and engaging and just being part of the community. That's so important nowadays, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining, Joe. Everyone else, we're going to have more virtual online events. So if you want to hit the link in the bio of JC Tech Meetup, you can sign up for our mailing list and be in the loop on what's upcoming. Otherwise, you can just follow along on Instagram. If you want to follow along my personal journey through this quarantine, it's at Shred Durst, because I'm doing a lot of crazy different shit, just trying to figure out how to make it work through all this. So a lot of different fun stuff going on. Everyone, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and just thank you so much for joining for this first experience. It's been amazing. We appreciate you.
One more thing before I go. Let me shout out a few amazing businesses. Salvation Wellness, downtown Jersey City. Support them. Ohm Life, downtown Jersey City, support them. Hudson Hall, order some food, support them. Support these businesses.
Yes.
If you can, do it. Support them. Even if it's just sharing their messages, support these businesses. If you know any local businesses, share the JC Tech Meetup stuff.
Please.
If you know any businesses, I just can't stress that enough. Right now, it's more important than ever. It could be make or break for some of these businesses if you support them right now or not. So support them, even if it's not in a financial way. Do what you can do, and keep Jersey City amazing. It's amazing because of all these entrepreneurs and these businesses. We don't want that to change. So just do what you can.
Great words. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's been a blessed night with y'all. Go have a drink for us,
Yeah.
We'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you.
We'll see you later.